Hello and welcome to today's video as we go over some of the top prospects in the LEC or America's uh, systems in LOL esports. This includes CBLOL, Latin America, ERLs, and NACL from last year. Just the top three players in particular, based on stats. I used stats, all the players 21 or under, and then, accumulated them. Who had the best stat line? I do not watch Academy. I do not watch Tier 2. I know people don't like when I count all ERLs the same, but regardless, that's what I'm going to do. And I also included the entire year worth of stats. So that's another thing. Some players switch teams. Some players have Tier 1 games mixed in, which actually gives those players even more credence if they have good stats. Like, hell, they were up and down between Tier 1 and Tier 2, and yet still put up that great of stats in Tier 2 that it washed out what may have been, debut stats for a Tier 1 player. So the things I utilized age. Age is important, in my opinion, when I'm looking at prospects because we're looking at who is the most inexperienced player relative to the one that is the most experienced. Games played this season, trying to help those that did go to EU Masters or America's Challenger, etc., and are able to, put together a big set of games. Also, in addition to trying to get players that played both splits as well, there were some players that played some Division Two games that I had to omit. There are some players that only played one split. I tried to get rid of them as well, just because I do not want, I want to get the best and greatest sample size I could. KDA, kill participation, CS per minute, solo kills per game, return on investment, which is damage divided by gold, share percentage difference, which is damage share minus gold share. So who got the most out of their gold the team gave them? I think that's going to be an important stat for those that may have been on teams that weren't very good, right? So they didn't get a lot of gold, but they dealt a lot of damage. And maybe their team didn't get to playoffs or whatever, but they were still a good player. Champions per game, vision efficiency, which is vision score divided by wards placed, gold difference at 15 minutes, XP difference at 15 minutes. So in top lane, Trayson for Austrian Force, and I'm not going to try and pronounce the last word. 19 years old, had a great split. Been hearing a lot about this player, and they showed up in a big way this past season. Some stats that stuck out. They were first in CS per minute amongst about 52 top laners that I had identified with 8.8. 10th in damage divided by gold, 1.5. Gold difference, 4th, up 480 on average. So every game they went even. They were ahead 960 gold in another game. XP difference, 3rd, so 320 ahead. 7th in solo kills per game. Now you may say they had 38 solo kills, but it was in 51 games, so we take that for what it is. That's still a ton, 7th in that category. Vision efficiency, 3rd, 3.26. KDA, 10th, 3.2. Nuke. So Nuke is a Turkish top laner that did play about 20 games in TCL over their career before that became a ERL instead of a World's Qualifying Region. Played with Team Phantasmas, 21 years old. KDA 8th, 3.3. Return on investment 1st, so 1.73 damage divided by gold led the way. Gold difference 1st, up 1,141 gold on average. XP difference 1st, up 426. Solo kills per game 1st. Had more than one solo kill per game with 58 and 54. Gaithan, 20 years old, played with GTZ Esports. KDA 5th, 5.6. CS per minute 4th, 8.5. Kill participation 3rd, 62.9. Gold difference 2nd, up 763. And XP difference 3rd, up 275. Other notable top laners, Boda, who's only 18 years old, has a very bright future, and I believe may even be playing next year in LEC. I'm not 100% sure. Just an excellent player. Zest, a player I've been singing the praises of since he was playing with Gen G in Academy and Challenger. I felt like he deserved a Tier 1 spot and still's kicking around here. A young player. Cozy and Curdy. Shroudy. Shorty. Sorry, not Shroudy. Yeti. Yeti is a player in particular that I think we're going to hear a lot about over the years. I think they're only 16 and turned 17 this past year, and their statistics were top 10 in their role amongst their peers at similar ages. I mean, that's the sort of player that you're going to see, like I said, years down the road being an LEC player, in my opinion. And then Zamudo, who is one of the best NA prospects, 10th in top lane. Jungle Roll, XNS plays for Boostgate Esports, 21 years old, 6th in KDA, 4.4, CS per minute first, 6.8, share percentage second, so 4.2%, more damage than gold for their team. Second in return on investment, 1.59, third in gold difference, up 256, XP difference, 405, vision efficiency would get 5.4 vision score per ward placed. 1 second. All right, second, Skumond plays for BDS Academy, is playing for, supposedly rumored to go to G2 next year, replace Yike. 20 years old, first in KDA, 6.5, return on investment 7th, 1.31, fourth in gold difference, up 236, XP difference 5th, 265. There is going to be a thing that we're going to think about here. BDS did have a few LEC players on their run through EU Masters, etc. So we do have to keep that in mind that they were very experienced around him, and I expect him to do just fine in LEC. But either way, I mean, he's a player that's earned it as well. That is a factor in this. Tatu, 18 years old, played for Pain Gaming Academy. So statistically, checks out. The age certainly helped. One of the youngest players in the jungle role in Tier 2. So, I mean, deserves credit for that. And that years down the road, I wouldn't be surprised to see him on a CBLOL main, not an America's roster soon. KDA second, 5.5, gold difference 8th, 157 ahead, XP difference 6, 242 ahead, and solo kills. Would you think jungler really? 6th with 13 and 72 games. Other junglers, Calimbos, Pallet, Rylek, and then 2 familiar names, 113 and Douglas. Very good stat lines. Douglas, of course, mixing in a lot of LEC stats where we saw Vitality struggle. They did not get better without him. Douglas is still one of the best prospects in the world, in my opinion. He may have lost rookie status, but Douglas should be on a main roster next year. It is a damn shame that he may not be. 113 also gets a lot of heat for his performance with Astralis when he was thrown into a complete disaster. And it's one of the telltale signs of somebody that's way too exaggerative about people, is if they give 113 crap, in my opinion, because 113 is a player that, I mean, does their job at a high level, in my opinion, given their age and experience, and now finally getting an opportunity to develop properly is showcasing growth. So it is a thing. Mid lane, Toffee, 19 years old, played for MCon Esports in the one of the ERLs. KDA 10th, 4.5. CS per minute 3rd, 9.4. Share percentage 6th, 6.5% more damage than gold share. Return on investment 5th, 1.81. Second in gold difference, ahead over 500 gold on average, nearly 500 XP ahead. And 10th in solo kills with 15 and 36 games. A player that did not get to playoffs or EU Masters, but had a great season and deserves credit for that. Roamer. So a player that played with HLE Academy not too long ago and now plays for Team Liquid Academy at 21 years old. Share percentage was 6th, ahead 6.5%. Return on investment 2nd, 1.86. Kill participation 9th, 69%, was up 430 gold, 194 XP. 8th in solo kills, had 23 and 62 games, and vision efficiency 2.91. Kisse. So Kisse played with, I believe, Order. If you remember that Order team, that 2022 MSI, he was a very young player at that time. I mean, hell, he's still only 21 years old. He was like 19 years old, 18, 19 years old, and honestly, his champion pool was very it was a great champion pool, and a player that I thought, this guy has an opportunity long term. Now, Ose obviously has left a lot to be desired. Now he was playing for Vivo Keed Stars Academy team. Rumors are that he may play for their main roster this year. These stats also include Ose stats, so keep that in mind. Whether you think Ose is a region that I mean, it's probably comparable to tier 2 in terms of level of play. KDA 6th, 4.8. CS per minute 4th, 9.3. Gold difference up 315 on average. XP difference ahead 205. And that's all he really needed to be third best when we look at the entire stat line. Players after him, Mercy, a Turkish mid. Marty, Many, Fiesta. Yes, it's Fiesta that played with Nongshim. Red Force and LCK. And Sajator, another mid laner that had a really good stat line. A player that maybe you might want to look forward to this upcoming year in ERLs. The majority of these players are ERL players unless I specify otherwise. If you go on gol.gg or Leaguepedia, you can look up more stats about them and things of that nature. Now on to the bot lane duos. Okay, so for bot lane, we have Harpoon playing for Zero Tenacity, 19 years old, put up a great season in ERLs. KDA was 5th with a 6, CS per minute 3rd, 9.6, kill participation 3rd, 72.9. Gold difference 8th, up 257. XP difference 3rd, up 328. Solo kills 4th. You'd be like, 80 carries, solo kills. He had 15 in 67 games. That's pretty good. Vision efficiency 4th, 3.25. And although Callist, who is in 2nd, a lot of people are talking about him, of course, plays for Carmine Corp and is going to be in the LEC this year. But Harpoon had a better season. Now, Callist, 18 years old, I think he's going to be a super, super good player if given an opportunity. A lot of people giving him crap and saying, he's going to have to perform. There's too many people hyping this guy up. If you allow that hype to get to you to the point where you don't give that player a fair opportunity, you shouldn't be judging players. I think that's you got to give people an opportunity. There's going to be a learning curve, and he's going to have to get used to it, especially on a team that we saw how it did all last year, right? So let's, take it for what it is. KDA 5th, 6th, tied with Harpoon, and then Lindgrad as well. First in CS per minute, 10.3. Share percentage, 7th, had 4.8% more damage than Gold. Return on investment, 8th, 1.62. Kill participation, 8th, 71.4. Gold difference, 6, up 342. And XP difference, 2nd, up 337. Lindgard, 20 years old, played for Venom Crest Esports. Great season. A guy that I hadn't even heard of. KDA 5th, 6. CS per minute 7th, 9.5. Had the best share percentage difference, 6. So had 6% more damage than Gold. Best ROI, 1.81. These sort of stats are the stats that we saw Supa do very well in last year. Keep that in mind. Kill participation 9th, 70.7. Gold difference 4th, up 486. XP difference 6th, up 195. Vision efficiency 5th, up 3.18. Champion pools, of course, take a role in this. Vision efficiency, Ashe, of course. Senna usage. If a player used a lot of Senna, it's going to kill their stat line. That's why I wanted to use the entire season as well, trying to limit how much those Senna games might affect things. But this is not meant to be like a an argumentative video. It's just kind of giving you insight on maybe some players you might not have heard of if you don't pay attention to Academy like myself. I did all this research today. Strode, another 80 carry. Tong-Yi looked really good this year. Had played in Korea for quite a bit, I assume in solo queue and things. I think he was on Brion's, something with Brion. There was something going on there. Jopa plays for Vitality in ERLs. Zamulek and Yaki. Support, I only included 3. There were only about 28 players that even made the criteria. And then looking deeper at it, there are a lot of players that actually played one split in this or that. So we're going over the 3 best, but keep that in mind. So Red Fernal played with White Dragons, 20 years old. KDA was 4th, 3.5. Share percentage, 4th, negative 4.5. Now, the reason why I'm using share percentage for supports, now supports don't necessarily have to deal damage. However, with that stat, that's indicating to me this support dealt quite a bit of, this support may not have dealt a lot of this. Share percentage for a support is indicating to me that a team itself was not very good and the support was dealing more damage than they probably should have been. That's what I'm trying to say. Return on investment 7th, 0.87. Gold difference first, up 229. XP difference first, 375. Supports ahead, maybe, a lot of Senna games maybe in there helped, but also you'd like to think that maybe the lane did well in the 2v2. And then, of course, the most supportive support stat, vision efficiency, 4th, 2.09. Paris, 21 years old, playing for BDS Academy. I think rumored to go to G2 as well. KDA second, 3.7. Share percentage ninth, negative 5.2. That's because he's very aggressive. The team was good, but Paris is very aggressive support. He's earned this opportunity. Return on investment, 4th, gold difference third, up 158, XP difference up 66. When you get to that point, hell, you got a couple supports that did get a lot of gold and XP, and then other ones, that are more, it makes more sense. Supports don't necessarily get big gold leads or XP leads. Vision efficiency third, 2.1. CB Lul Zay, 20 years old, played for Flamingo Academy. Also, I think played for Liberty in CB Lul. Liberty, a team that left a lot to be desired for sure in Brazil. But Zay, I've heard a lot about, and it's no surprise that statistically he ended up just on the board. It's one of those interesting things as well. A lot of these players I said I've heard of already, and it's because of the Discord and this or that, this player looks good, that player might look good. And statistically, they actually check out, which is important because, there's an opinion, the eye test, but do the numbers actually back up what you're seeing? And for some of these guys, it does. So KDA 8th, 2.9. Share percentage third, negative 3.8. Return on investment 6.88. KP 8th, 74.1. Gold difference ahead 120. XP difference ahead 24. But champions played 8th. He had 11 in 29 games. So wide champion pool, and that's something that needs to be noted as well for all roles, but especially support. So, these are just several players, if you will, that, statistically look good last year that we may want to look at this year, maybe going into the season. Free agency is about to start. There's going to be empty roster spots. Are these players going to get a chance? Are these players on the short list to maybe join a team after winter to spring or spring to summer? We saw last year quite a bit, especially in Europe, where teams made changes, and it wouldn't shock me if it happened again. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.